the final frontier.
It's so boring!
Well, not this episode.
Not
this
this
episode wasn't boring.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so this is episode 11 of season 2, The Golden Spear. And we now get back to what's been going on the moon with Della Duck. As you know, last time from the episode, Whatever Happened to Della Duck, she, after 10 years, suddenly discovered there's a whole civilization within the moon that built everything from gold. The one thing she needs to finish completing building and powering her ship. Thankfully, the head alien is cool with her and invites her to stay and allows her to make repairs. However, his lieutenant is not cool with it. At all. By any means. She has no chill. Frankly, I'm surprised Della didn't end up dead by the end of this episode. Oh god, so yeah, this episode is this has more of an A and B plot than the past 3 episodes do, where the other ones were like, you know, pretty much intermingled or in one straight storyline. These two are like juxtaposed and going on at the same time.
Funny thing is, the one plot is Della, the other plot is Donald.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, we
get the 2 twins and different stories going on. So we haven't seen that since the Christmas episode.
No.
So, yeah, I guess we'll start off with Donald's plot since that one is more straightforward and more funny to talk about. Although not quite, because dear God, I feel so bad for Donald. I feel so bad for Donald. So he apparently is in a stage where he's molting, and he has a prescription hammock. So they're telling him, you gotta take it easy, you're gonna molt all your feathers. And God love him, he tries, but
everybody gets in the way.
His family will not let him rest at all. Like, Huey and Webby put in a Necronomicon VHS tape which summons zombies and everything turns into Evil Dead. Dewey manages to steal the sandals of Hermes and gain his power, and now Zeus is pissed off at him and he has to fight him along with the help of Storkules. And then Louie and Scrooge somehow summon a demonic goat in their closet, which takes the 3 of them to another dimension. Like, there's no rest for this guy. I don't know how Donald survives by the end of this. So, yeah, poor Donald is being strung from one adventure to the other. He cannot catch a break. Although I do admit I like the Necronomicon part the best, just because all the Evil Dead references. He even shows up with a chainsaw for a hand. And of course, as per usual, Huey utters the phrase Klaatu, Barata, and Nektu to get... Damn it, I always forget. If I say necktie, does it count? If I say ooh, does it count?
You better not be raising the dead in there!
I'm not done. I said I was sorry.
Always with the dead, that one.
So, yeah, there's that portion, and we get to see Storkules again. He's still in Duckburg, and his dad is still a dick. Because I don't know why Dewey winning the sandals pisses him off. And they apparently have this another big competition, which ends in a draw. So, I don't know. And Lord knows what happened in that goat universe. Oh my god. So yeah, that was Donald's portion of the story. Then we get to the real meat of everything with Della. So she's happily repairing her ship because now she finally has everything she needs to complete it. And all the moon people are all happy to have her. They're fascinated by her and her adventures and the Earth culture and stuff. And it seems like things are good. Except that she has to deal with Penumbra, who is a fucking bitch. And I'm sorry to use such strong language, but she is a bitch. A total trigger-happy bitch. Like, she looks for any and all excuse to hate her and try to kill her. Like, it is the weakest of reasons, too, because she's like, oh, look at her. She's obviously plotting against us, even though Della explains she's just trying to get back to her family. Like, oh, look at her. She thinks she's so great, that Earth culture is so great and stuff, and superior to the moon. When did she say that? Like, oh god, like, this was the most annoying part of the episode for me, because, like, they keep dropping hints that, oh, she's gonna do something totally awful that's gonna ruin Della's plan to get back to Earth and strand her there again. Like, I was pretty much expecting that, because you can tell from the end of the last Dell episode that something was going to happen with the moon people. Because, this is the first time they've seen an Earthling in God knows how long, if ever. But the thing is, like, I could understand if maybe the moon people had, like, an issue, like, an actual issue with Earthlings, like an event that caused them to distress them, but they never name such thing.
In fact, not only that, but Della actually saved them. So an Earthling saved them from having to deal with the giant mites. So
yeah, she destroyed the mite that was eating their gold. So she's a hero, and yeah, like, Penumbra just doesn't care. She's just totally convinced that she's a bad person, that she's a spy there sent by Earth to destroy them, even though the Earthlings have no freaking clue that these people exist. And it's like, she's like just so self-important and so self-grandizing and everything. And she tries at these really, like, immature, underhanded attempts to turn the people against Della. Saying like, oh, you like hearing Earth story so much, why don't you go live there? And they're like, okay, let's do it. And she's like, damn it. And this goes on for, like, the whole episode. And to the point where she finally, like, because she's worried that Della's actually going to take the moon people to Earth, even though she wasn't going to until Penumbra put the idea in her head that, oh, maybe she could. So she finally acts on that sabotage that we, predicted would happen, and sets off the rocket early. So Della, luckily she's near the ship, and she has no choice but to leave immediately and leave without the moon people. Like, it can't be helped. But, the leader's there, he assures her that, let the people know what happened, that she's welcome back anytime, that eventually, and convinces her to leave her schematics for her ship so they can, find their own way to Earth. Everything seems fine, and then, Penumbra's happy because Della's gone, and, it sucks that the moon people won't get to go right away, but eventually they get there. Then the leader shoots himself in the arm. And then he tells this bold-faced lie to the people that Della betrayed them, tried to kill him, and took off without them. And that this was cause enough for them to go to war with Earth. And at that point, I'm like, wow. Like, I knew this was coming, but wow. And it's for the weakest of reasons, because they mention that, the guy, his grandfather was in charge of the colony back when they lived on the surface of the moon, and when humans started going into space, they got scared and went underground. Well, to him, it's like, we shouldn't have to live underground. We should go on the surface, and we should make ourselves known and make them know we're superior, and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, come on, dude. Ugh. So finally, the two plots converge. Donald's family realize he's been way too stressed out by their antics, so they actually pay for a cruise to send him out, to sea for like a couple weeks, no phone, no contact with the outside world, just a place where he can relax. And as he's waiting for the bus to go catch that cruise, he sees Della's ship. He goes to where she crash lands, and I guess she got thrown out of the rocket or something, because as he goes in to look for her, it seals itself back up and goes straight back into space. I don't know how
Well, I think he accidentally triggered the emergency launch again.
I guess, yeah. But rockets could take off that easily, considering how long it took her to fix that fucking thing. So now Donald is going back out into space, and Della's back on Earth. And she is at the gates of McDuck Mansion. And that's where it ends. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, this is probably the first of the new episodes that I have really mixed feelings about. Because on the one hand, we finally get some legitimate plot and some payoff and a bit of closure to that whole Della being stranded in space thing. But the lead up to it is just so frustrating and so annoying, and
it's not over.
It's not over. Because we know what's coming now. She's got to meet up with her family and explain where the hell she's been these last 10 years. And then
Donald's going to the moon, and he's going to wind up as part of that war plot.
If he doesn't die first of stress. Yeah, like, God. I thought from the get-go that the whole secret moon society thing was like shoehorned in just to make this, more of an exciting side thing for Della. But at this point, it's like now we have the promise of full-on invasion, and granted, this isn't the first time that's happened in DuckTales. They've had alien invasions before, or at least attempts at alien invasion. And again, usually it was the typical, oh, I'm an evil alien and I go off and conquer worlds and this is just what we do. But in this case, they try to give them a justifiable motive for doing so, and it makes no sense. And even if it does, it's weak. Extremely weak. Ugh.
I mean, there is at least the hope, because honestly, Penumbra does start to soften, because as Della's, making her plans to take off, she does, talk to Penumbra, and she's like, hey, I've been where you've been, having to trust that somebody else will take care of my people, or, the people I love. So it's like, understand me when I say I'm going to do as good a job as I can. Which leads Penumbra, she softens a bit, but at the same time, she just wants Della out. So she activates the rocket and, brings Della there so that, she'll just go and not, waste a second. There's also an interesting reference. She says, Della says to Penny, we're the original odd couple. In relation to the play / TV show. Yeah. And then there is something that I was wondering about. So we had the episode, 4 episodes back, we had in the Treasure of the Found Lamp, we have them go to Ithaquack into that one chamber, and Zeus didn't even know about this or anything, but yet now when Dewey just happens to steal the, Mercury, Hermes sandals, it's like, oh, now I'm pissed off. I'm like, is it because it was a relative of Scrooge that you're pissed off? Is it because Dewey was being really obnoxious about it? Explain!
I believe either or, because Zeus is a dick no matter the situation. He's just an overgrown child. And of course, Dewey is obnoxious as hell in regards to his wins, so I can buy either or. I just love how Zeus came all the way there from Greece just to fight against his son and Scrooge's nephew, and he doesn't even win.
Nope.
And he's like, you didn't win, I let you win. And poor Donald just gets caught up in the mix. Yeah, so this episode was a mixed bag. Again,
I do find there was an interesting thing. Della actually says to Penumbra that she reminds her of Donald.
I can see it. She's quick to anger. She's trigger happy. She throws a fit whenever somebody says someone implies that they're better than her. I mean, you think of Donald back in the day, how he flipped his shit over everything. I can see it. Like, but even so, I think Penumbra takes it to, like, the 11th degree, because I know we're meant to, like, believe that maybe she's gonna be more sympathetic toward Della and help her, like, against the invasion later on, but just her attitude the whole time is so bad, because, like, she poses no threat to you whatsoever. You watched her sing to a bug, like, lovingly, and you think she's gonna take down your society. It's like, and again, they have no real legit reason to hate Earth other than, oh, they're there. They managed to get out in space. They must be as great as we are. Let's hide or let's fight. It's so stupid. It is so damn stupid. And of course, that's probably going to be the finale of this whole thing with the moon. I'm just going to call them the Mooninites.
The planet Moon.
I'm going to call them the Mooninites.
Warriors of the planet Moon.
No, I'm calling them the Mooninites because they are about... Their plans are about as comprehensible as the Mooninites. They are about as mature as the Mooninites. And they're as evil as the Mooninites. Like, the only difference is that they don't, steal stuff and drink beer and do drugs and stuff like that. Just, yeah.
We're from the moon.
The moon rules, number one.
Who wrote the moon rules #1 on my car?
If they don't do that in, like, the invasion, I'll be so disappointed. Seriously, Zen, where are you? Defeat the Mooninites for us.
Oh, speaking of Zen.
Guess what, Zen? You're
There's
in this
a character
episode!
named after you.
Yeah, true. It's named after her. If she were in this episode, she'd take up the whole
And even funnier, too, the character is voiced by April Winchell.
Zen's favorite. That's Clarella DeVille.
So does that mean she's going to give everybody office supplies?
Attack Earth with office supplies. Oh, God.
Or is she going to go the Black Heron route?
Like...
Or Miss Finster.
Like, part of me wants to say that was, a coincidence, but I like to think that the creators do watch us, and they're paying tribute to Zen for reviewing them. Hi, creators! Thank you! Can you name a character after me? Just a funny thing we wanted to mention, because we didn't catch it the first time, because at first, like, it was one of those blinking and miss it moments, and I'm like, wait,
did they say what we thought they said?
And she's a girl, too, so it's appropriate. Yeah, I mean, I know Zenith's a real name, and it makes sense, because, it's in correlation with the sun and space and everything, but it's still pretty cool to think. Zen, you're missing out. Come back to us. They want your attention. So yeah, this is the conclusion of our 4-part review. Apologies, like I said, for the shitty camera resolution, the fluctuation in lighting and stuff. It's been a while for both of us since we've been in front of the camera. So yeah, from now on, we're just gonna do live reactions and pretty much leave it at that, because I know we went into a lot with these last 4, but that's because we don't know when Zen's gonna get a chance to talk about it. So we want to eventually do, like, maybe a whole sum up, the same way that Zen and I do our Steven Universe podcast, where we sum up all the episodes in a season. That's probably what we're gonna try to do eventually. Well, we'll see. But point is, next time, next time,
Della's gonna take the triplets to Neverest and to the Toth-Ra mummies.
Oh, that's gonna be awkward. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, because next time we see what happens when Della comes back and she meets everybody, and
nothing can stop Della Duck.
I hope not. Because it's been 10 years. We've come a long way since slap bracelets. But until then, I'm Kat MacBerrie.
I'm Doug MacBerrie.
And to space and back.
Spear.
Ugh.